This video is on the technical analysis of EurUSD, and what we'll do in regards to this video is actually technically analyze EurUSD from the monthly chart and all the way to about the H4 chart. And without wasting any further time, guys, let's get straight into the actual technical analysis. And just to recap, the last time we looked at this chart was actually sometime last year, and the last thing that we said about this particular chart is that the market had given us this double top over here, which had a neckline at that point. And we all know that whenever we have these patterns, ideally we want to see price breaking to the bottom side of that neckline and then heading up to the neckline to test it out. And where we have that neckline is generally where we look for those potential sell opportunities, especially if the neckline aligns with any key numbers that we have in regards to the Fibonacci retracement tool. So I'm just going to add a neckline for this particular double top, which is more or less over there, and then I'm just going to utilize Fibonacci just to see if that neckline actually aligns with any key numbers that we have in regards to the tool. And let's have a look, and we can see actually that the reason why price actually came back to around this region is because we had this double top, and that's the neckline of that double top. And we can also see that we could say in regards to the Fibonacci retracement tool, price came back to around, let's say, between the 50% as well as the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement levels. And this tells us that chances are that we're gonna see the market from where it is actually move all the way down to around this level, just based on this monthly chart. So I'm just going to remove this particular neckline for now. What else do we see in regards to the monthly chart? So as much as we had this double top over here, which had a neckline there, we can also see that price or the market has also given us another smaller double top here, which similarly has a neckline there, right? And you guys know that whenever we have these patterns, because they start here, ideally we want to see the market move further down to close pretty much in line with where they start, right? So in regards to this double top over here, which has a neckline there, we want to see price actually closing below the neckline and then heading down to around at least this level to close pretty much in line with where it had started, right? So I'm just going to add a neckline for that double top. Just bear with me. There we go. So what we want to see happen next, guys, is actually price or the market closing below this neckline. And once that happens, chances are that we're going to see the market move further down to around this level to, as I said, close pretty much in line with where the structure would have started, as you guys can see, right? Anyway, what else do we see at this point, right? So as much as at this point in time this is the neckline of this double top, just bear in mind that it is now also a very strong level of support. And what may possibly happen is that we may see a situation where the market comes down to test that neckline. As I said, it is a very strong level of support, and at that point we may again see the market move further up, especially because we have this candlestick over here. If I can just mark it properly, we have this candlestick over here, and as you guys can see, what it is a bullish candlestick with a small body and quite a long upper wick. And what that tells us is that we have a lot of liquidity there, and that liquidity is money, and that money needs to be triggered by the market sooner or later, as I always say, right? So there is plenty of scope for the market to bounce off of this area, and at that area we may see the market move further up to grab the liquidity associated with that candlestick at that level, right? And then potentially we may see the market actually giving us another double top and then potentially playing this pattern out, as you guys can see, right? So what I'm doing at this point is just speculating and showing you some of the possible outcomes that we may encounter as far as EurUSD is concerned, right? But for now, the most important structure is this double top over here, which has a neckline there, right? So what else do we see, guys? Another thing that I also want to mention is that as much as I'm saying that we may see price come back to that level to trigger the liquidity associated with the candlestick, another thing that's very much important is that we had also had this double top over here. And remember that whenever we have double tops, what normally happens is that a lot of traders and investors sell on the second leg of that structure, and they place their stop losses just above, right? So we have a lot of money stuck here in the form of stop losses, and we may see potentially price coming down to the neckline, only to move all the way to that point to trigger all of those stop losses, right? Anyway, from here, let's head down to the weekly chart, and just bear with me. And here we are on the weekly chart. And just to recap, guys, remember that on the monthly chart we spoke about how the market may potentially give us this double top, and we may see the market actually close below this neckline, and again move all the way to around this level to close pretty much in line with where it had started, as you guys can see, right? But here we are on the weekly chart. What do we see on the weekly chart that we should be paying attention to? On the weekly chart, we can see that as much as we have the structure over here, which is a double top, the market has also given us another smaller double top over here, which has a neckline there, right? So I'm just going to add a neckline for that smaller double top, because it too is very much important at this point in time. And it is very much important because we may see a situation where price, because it has closed below that neckline, moves up to the neckline to give it a test, and at that point again is where we may look for further sell opportunities, right? We may look for further sell opportunities, right? Anyway, let me just zoom in a bit, just bear with me. There we go. And again, I'm going to utilize Fibonacci just to see if that neckline actually aligns with any key numbers that we may have in regards to the tool. And let's have a look. There we go, more or less. And we can see again that the neckline, which is over here of this double top, we could say aligns with the let's say it's between the 38.2% as well as the 50% Fibonacci retracement levels. So you should price from where it is revert to this level, or those two levels. At those two levels is where I would look for potential sell opportunities, and that is because, remember guys, we have this smaller double top. Number two, we have price closing below that neckline. Number three, if it does happen, we would have price come back to the neckline to give it a test. Number four, the very same neckline is also a very strong level of resistance. And number five, the neckline aligns with key numbers that we have in regards to the Fibonacci retracement tool, right? So it would make sense for us to look for potential sell opportunities at that point, right? And if we do indeed find any good sell opportunities at that point, I believe that especially myself, my take profit would be around here somewhere. My first take profit, that is because that's where this double top started. It started here, and ideally we want to see the market end there pretty much in line with where it had started, right? Another reason is that the very same level is the neckline of that bigger double top that we spoke about on the monthly chart, which is also now a very strong level of support. And remember that I said that we may see a situation where price comes here, bounces above this level, only to continue to move further up, right? I hope what I'm saying makes sense. Anyway, from here I'm just going to head down to the daily chart. Just bear with me. And here we are on the daily chart. And again, remember guys, that on the weekly chart we spoke about how the market, if I can just zoom out a bit, on the weekly chart we spoke about how the market had given us the smaller double top, which has a neckline there, and we said that should price from where it is come back to that level. At that level is where we may potentially look for sell opportunities, as the structure actually started here, and ideally we want to see the market close here pretty much in line with where it had started. And what else do we see, guys, now that we're on the daily chart? Let's have a look. On the daily chart, actually I'm going to start off by just adding my daily channel, so just bear with me. Let's have a look. Daily channel, how would I add my daily channel? On the daily chart I would add my daily channel in this manner. Let's have a look. There goes my daily channel, and we can see that again we are in a downward trending market, and it says that for the most part we should be looking for potential sell opportunities, as you guys can see. But let's zoom in and see what else is happening in regards to the daily chart. What else do we see, guys? So as much as we had this double top over here, which we spoke about on the weekly chart, we also have another, if you guys can see, double top over here, which similarly has a neckline there, right? Again, should price from where it is, come back to that level. At this level is where we would look for potential sell opportunities, and especially if the neckline, which is over here, aligns with any key numbers that we have in regards to the Fibonacci retracement tool, right? But what else do we see at this point in time? Let's have a look. I don't see much at this point, so I'm just going to head down to the H4 chart. Just bear with me. Just bear with me, guys. Oh, here we go on the H4 chart, and on the H4 chart, I'm just going to start off by adding my H4 channel, and I would add my H4 channel more or less in this manner. There we go, there we go, there we go. And again, just to recap, I'm just gonna zoom out a bit. Yeah, just to recap, remember on the daily chart again, we spoke about how price has given us another smaller double top here, which has a neckline around here somewhere. And should price come back to this area again, within this area is where we would look for potential sell opportunities. But here we are on the H4 chart, right? And again, on the H4 chart, we can see that we are in a downward trending market. And as much as we are in a downward trending market, we can also see that within this area over here, the market is starting to lose some momentum, and it's starting to move almost sideways, and it's starting to give us an indication that we may be getting ready to see the market actually retrace a bit before ultimately continuing to move further down, right? But in as far as sell opportunities at this point in time go, I don't see any. But I'm just going to add this channel just to see what's happening here. Let's have a look. There we go. And just remember, guys, that whatever drawings that we do add to our charts need to be as close to perfection as possible. So just bear with me, guys, while I adjust my channel. And there we go, guys. And as I said, right, that the market at this point seems to be moving rather sideways, and it's telling us that we may possibly be getting ready to see the market head up to around this point. And remember that at this point is where we would look for potential sell opportunities, right? Another thing is that we can see that price has closed on the outside of this channel over here, which again indicates that we may be getting ready to see the market move around, or rather to around that level over there. And the last point that I want to make is that it is also quite possible that we may see price giving us an inverted head and shoulders pattern, right? Where this side would be the left shoulder, this would be the head, and potentially we may get the right hand shoulder at that point, and it would also have a neckline there. And should price close above that neckline, it is quite possible that we may see the market head to that level, and at this level is where we may potentially look for sell opportunities, because remember we also have that huge double top which has a neckline there, and we said the neckline aligns with the 50% as well as the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement levels. And as I said, guys, at this point is where I would look for potential sell opportunities, right? So should price from where it is reach this point, at that point is where I would look for a channel, right? And when price closes on this side of the channel, that would be my first confirmation. And my last confirmation on the lower time frames would be price giving me reversal candlestick patterns, such as this particular pattern over here, right, which is railroad tracks, right, where this one would be bearish and this one over here would be bullish, right? That's a reversal candlestick pattern. Or I want to see price giving me a pin bar of sorts, right? Or I want to see the market giving me a bearish engulfing candlestick pattern, where this one would be bullish and this one would be bearish, right? Or the last pattern that I would want to see is this pattern over here, right, which is a what is it called again? I think it's called a morning star, if memory serves, right, where this would be bearish, this would be a smaller candlestick rather, and this over here would be bullish, right? And once I get those, I would then look for sell opportunities. But just to zoom out, guys, and go back to the daily chart, right? Remember, I want to see price come back there, and at this point is where I would sell, and my first take profit would be around this level over here, and that is because this level is the neckline of that huge double top that we spoke about on the bigger time frames. But just to go back to the weekly chart, on the weekly chart, just bear with me. On the weekly chart, I want to see price, right, actually closing below this level, and once it does so, I want to see it head back to this level. And again, here is where I would look for further sell opportunities, and if I do find any there, my take profit should be around here somewhere to complete that huge double top which started here, right? And then we saw the market hit up, give us this double top, right? And then we want to see it end or close pretty much in line with where it had started. I hope you guys can see that.